Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, it's me. We're live.
Welcome to the Cocoa Express Network. Talk radio that informs. Talk radio that inspires. Talk radio that enlightens. Talk radio for us all.
Hey everybody, it is me, and it is Saturday, let me see if I can get the date right. It's the 10th of September, 2016. Yes, the 10th of September, 2016. The premise of this whole show is to congratulate one of the most phenomenal athletes that I've seen in a long time. And what's really interesting is how much I really enjoy seeing athleticism at its best. And when you have the Olympics, you get to see it displayed at the highest level. And I really enjoyed my time sitting in front of my TV set, not moving, to go anywhere to watch the Olympics. And the Olympics is a way that, you're able, these athletes, each one of them are able to serve the country. And they work so hard. And some of them, their careers are extended for years without any other outside activities, just so that when this time comes, they can perform and be able to show their best and show their country their best and show other countries their best. And that's one of the most beautiful things. And tomorrow, 9/11, is another significant time in our history here in America. And that's when the terrorist attacks happened down in the Wall Street area. And I also happened to be there for that. And I have to tell you, I have to give the utmost respect to a lot of the first responders. I saw them in action. I saw what they did. And I have to tell you that it was crazy and it was unfortunate the way things went. And it changed everyone's lives, and mine included. That's why I'm here with you live doing the Cocoa Express now, because my life was changed behind that particular incident. But let's get back to the most amazing part of our day, and that is to welcome a Miss Tori Bowie. I tell you, she is just an amazing, phenomenal person, and she is probably someone that I like a lot. I have to say, I really like her a lot. And we're just going to spend time getting to know her and getting to know what life is like for her today. So please allow me the opportunity to bring to you this amazing, phenomenal athlete and young woman, Miss Tori Bowie. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
You are. I have to tell you, I am just so honored to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You are quite welcome. It was so, I have to tell you, I sat in front of the TV set and did not move, okay, watching the Olympics. I did not move. I saw everything I could see. Because I'm an old track head, so, track and field was my thing. And I was a sprinter when I was younger, so I was like, I'm not moving. People were calling me, and they're like, what are you doing? I said, watching the Olympics. Leave me alone.
That's saying a mouthful right there.
Yes, but I have to tell you, you really caught my eye. And, I know that they do the mini bios on each and every, one of the athletes that they showcase. And your story was just so phenomenal. And I would like for you to share that with our listeners.
Okay. I could do my very best. So are we going to is this like an actual interview? Or
we are live, and we're having a conversation and dialogue. So that's how this show works. We have a conversation and dialogue, and we just talk.
All righty, let's do it then.
Yeah, just think of me as your aunt, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, I understand that, you came up in, like, the foster care environment, correct?
Right.
And,
Well,
I mean,
I did come up in a foster care environment, but I was so young that I can't actually remember the experience while
mhm.
being there.
Okay. Okay. And you wound up with your grandmother?
Right. So my
Right.
grandmother, yeah, correct. You're absolutely correct.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that dynamic because as I was growing up, I had my mom and everything, but I also had my grandmother, and that's a whole different dynamic when you have your grandmother in your life. You learn
Right.
stuff that you never would have learned because they come from a different era, so they can teach you some things that you probably would not have been exposed to.
I agree with you. I mean, on a day-to-day basis, I'll be like, I tell anyone, I was like, I'm very thankful that my grandmother raised me. Growing up, I was a little confused. I didn't understand why I
Mhm.
didn't have both my mother and my father. But right now, at the age of 26, I'm thankful for my situation.
Yes, okay. And I do get that. I had growing up my grandmother, she was very important to me in my life, and
Uh-huh.
I would sit and ask questions because, she was born in 1901. So I was like, well, what was it like there? Did people talk? I was stupid. So I would ask stupid questions. But she took the time out and, to educate me on what life was like then so that when I grew, got older, I could understand how to be who I needed to be later on.
Right.
Yeah, and that was, kind of important. So, how did you wind up getting involved in sports? What put you in that direction?
It was more of like sports overall. I would say that it was my uncle, just simply because, and my cousins. Growing up in the country, we didn't have much to do, and that
Mhm.
was just basically my lifestyle, my entire life. Just playing basketball with them, or we're racing, or we're always into sports, and that's just basically how I got into it. My entire life has been around it.
Okay, that's excellent. And what was the sport that you thought that you were good at then?
Basketball. So I started out with basketball, and I absolutely loved it. Was in love with it. And my basketball coach made it mandatory for me to join the track team, and that's how I started. That's how I got involved with track and field.
Okay. Did he make it mandatory for you to join the track team to get your speed up for basketball?
Well, she's a lady.
Mhm.
I was coached by a lady, and the school was so tiny. The school was so tiny. Graduation class had 44 people, and we didn't have enough people to make both a track team and a basketball team.
Mhm.
So my basketball coach at the time, she said, well, she was in charge of the track. She was going to be in charge of the track team as well. So she just basically made it mandatory for her entire basketball team to compete in track and field.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you come from so Sand Hill is really really small, right?
Extremely small. It's
Okay,
a
because I'm from
graduation class of 44 people.
44. Yeah, yeah. Because when I graduated, it was what 1735 or something like that, 1735. So
Whoa.
yeah, yeah. It was huge. So 44 people. Okay, I've been to Jacksonville, Mississippi. I think that's what it's called.
Well, maybe
Or
you've been to Florida because Jacksonville is
no, yeah,
located in
Jacksonville,
Florida.
Florida, but I've been to Mississippi. I forgot what it was called exactly where because I was in New Orleans and we drove down into Mississippi. And I was in Mississippi and I'm a New Yorker, so I was in culture shock, right?
Oh, no. Especially if you was coming from New York. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I was in culture shock. All I saw was grass and land and land and land and road. I didn't see buildings, and I was I was a little afraid.
Right.
Yeah,
I can understand that. I mean, coming from New York, I understand it.
So now you have had, what was it like being at the Rio Games? What was that experience like for you?
Just being in Rio. I mean, I feel like the media portrayed it to be way worse than what it actually was.
Okay.
And you know, I kind of, like, from hearing the media, I kind of prepared myself for the worst conditions possible.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, once I actually got over there, the experience was much better than I expected it to be.
Okay.
I mean, I think everything was beautiful there. It was beautiful. I mean, I feel like they didn't have much to offer, you know, like the U.S., you know, it's just as far as, you know, all the stores and, you know, everything being so close.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we don't have to go so far out, you know. But it was beautiful there.
Okay. Yeah, they showed us a lot of, you know, the scenery and stuff. But my big thing is food. How was the food?
Oh, my gosh. Nothing. They have no fattening there. It seems like everything is natural.
Okay.
So from what I've seen, it seemed like a lot of people lost weight while they were there. I did, for sure. I did, and I was pretty upset about that. But yes, I mean, the food was I don't know what to say about it. It was just healthy. No fattening.
That's good. Well, I think we could all learn a lot from their diet.
We sure can, but you know, after 2 or 3 days, I mean, that's enough.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
so,
like, okay, can I please get some fattening now? Can I please get something? You know, everything was baked. Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, as soon as you got off that plane and you hit back home, you can get into all the grease you want to.
Right. And I think that's what I was looking forward to the most. That's
really?
what I was looking forward to the most. Coming home going home to eat.
Okay. Yes. I can understand that. Now, they are saying that you were virtually unknown. You know, that's what the media is saying. But we, you know, people who are actually involved in, you know, watching and viewing track and field, you're not unknown. So it's really interesting to hear that. But what has your life been like since you've returned home from the Olympics?
My life has been moving extremely fast. Everything is like, I mean, I'm just, you know, I've been back and I'm just like trying to extend my brand, you know, just trying to do some modeling and some acting and I'm just like extending, like, you know, just trying to take advantage of all my opportunities right now. And, you know, I'm still in New York, like, as we speak right now. It's a Tuesday. I mean, I've entered a few fashion shows while I've been here. And, I mean, everything has just been amazing. It's like everything that I dreamed of is, like, you know, it's in reality at the moment.
Okay, that's beautiful because I saw you Adidas, the Adidas campaign that they did where you talked about, you know, how track saved your life. You are featured in magazines, you know, nationally syndicated magazines and all these different things that are going on. And I have to ask you, did you ever imagine your life being like it is now? I say 2 years ago.
Well, not so fast. Not in the amount of time that it's happened. I remember, I mean, my entire life I was like, I've always told my family, like, I've always told my family that I'm going to be on TV one day and I'm going to get a chance to tell my story. And, you know, it's happening now, but I didn't actually expect it to happen so fast. Like, we've only been into this for about 2 years now. So, yeah.
That is amazing. Now, what I wanted to ask you was, you know, being an athlete it has its upsides and its downsides. And I wanted to ask you, when did you know that this was it, that you had finally hit your stride? You know, you finally hit the point where you knew you were going to make it as an athlete. And then also, what was the... Go ahead.
You know, well, you never know that you're going to actually make it. You never know.